Oracle, fourth quarter, fiscal 24. Hey, the company had a miss, and the stock went up 13%. So what the heck happened? Well, what the heck happened was a nearly $100 billion RPO, an OpenAI inference deal. It's not training. That was clarified later. And a Google Cloud deal where Oracle Exadata machines are literally sitting inside of Google data centers, and all Google services like Vertex AI and Gemini have access to all that data. And oh, by the way, free ingress and egress, a thing that enterprises just want. So some broader thoughts here. OCI, and that's their IaaS, demonstrates again that it has a very competitive IaaS. I have to wonder too, is this OpenAI capability being brought up for Apple deal, or what? There are some that believe, based on the architecture that OCI has, that Oracle has the most secure cloud out there. And, by the way that they've done the virtualization versus others, they have a very compelling case here. At a minimum, it shows that supercluster is pretty badass. Second observation, after 15 years of the public cloud being out there and everybody having alternative databases and pooping on Oracle shows how it's been innovative with its database strength. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Now with Google, but prior to that with Microsoft Azure. Enterprises are asking for this, and here we are. Enterprises want free multi-cloud interconnects, and Oracle and Google are delivering that. Final question: what's AWS's move with Oracle? Maybe when hell freezes over. I don't know. The two have thrown immense bombs back and forth, and in the end, the customers will probably get what they want, which is to have an Oracle Exadata machine sitting inside of AWS. And who knows, maybe free ingress and egress. We'll see.
Yeah. So what do I'm going to talk a bit about the earnings. I'm going to mention a little bit about this OpenAI partnership, which I thought was pretty interesting because, the results weren't super great from a standpoint of like the expectations. I think they kind of missed across the board.
They did.
But the vision and the growth of its cloud continues to be where its strength is. Remember, this is a company with more than 70% predictable revenue. So people are, it's very easy to forecast kind of the performance, some of the big deals and the big wins, all the excitement and exuberance for the company tends to be in the cloud. So the numbers being looked at is kind of how is its cloud growth going? 40+% infrastructure growth. So you're seeing, it is converting well on its core customers using Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. It's also investing big in AI clusters. It's partnering with OpenAI, partnering with NVIDIA. It's got kind of that right pedigree of the different partnerships that it's doing. It's extending data center with Microsoft. I mean, they're partnering really effectively. And Oracle is a company that people didn't generally look at as a partner-friendly company, is actually doing this pretty well in terms of getting its tentacles into the broader markets. It's very focused on sovereign cloud. It's got cloud at customer. So bringing that sort of cloud experience on-prem where it needs to be, really understanding that slow migration off of private or on-prem to public cloud and making that and enabling that for people that want to operate in a cloud-like environment, but still have the benefits and the cloud sovereignty that you need. So all those things are really, really effective, but the growth came in, the infrastructure, which is really, really interesting because their infrastructure growth versus others is substantial. It's also smaller. It's significantly smaller. So you gotta acknowledge both of those things at the same time. The cloud deal with OpenAI was really interesting, of course.
Mm-hmm.
This was something that, the market had sort of, I don't know if you expected it, but what I'm saying is, so the company misses, right? But at the same time, it still sees a really substantial pop. What did that come from? So Pat, this goes back to our Apple conversation. Like, you and I didn't love it. You and I are like, why do they need it? The world freaking loves it. Like, the world absolutely wants everybody to partner with OpenAI. So it seems like maybe the delta between kind of the investor class, which is all looking for how do we get exposure to OpenAI since it's not public, to the sort of the tech purists that we are going, well, if you're a privacy company, why are you doing this? Like, but basically, Oracle is going to give more compute capacity to ChatGPT or OpenAI. So basically now it's, Microsoft, Azure AI, Oracle, and ChatGPT all working together.
Yeah.
And, with basically Sam Altman being very candid to the market that he needs more compute power, where does he go to get it? And so to your point, like the hell freezes over thing with AWS is that, there's probably, it'll end up getting there because that's just how the market works. But there's a lot of baggage there.
A lot of baggage, man.
And so I don't know if that'll happen anytime soon. But, the overall perception is that, this is a really, really good thing. Now, another thing that is notable that's kind of exciting and interesting, especially now that this whole proxy war, shareholder war is over with Tesla and Elon's going to get his money, is that Oracle is providing a poop ton of infrastructure to XAI as well. And again, while everybody in the world wants to, doesn't want to like Elon because his politics, I don't rule that out from being something, Pat. I mean, I've been watching you've been doing this kind of charting on the best Gen AI tools as you've been searching. You've been using earnings, in fact, as your sort of platform to look at this. Well, I think a few people, including myself, said, hey, go check out Perplexity. You can check that out. And I think it bumped Google off your top 4 right now, temporarily, top 3. Grok is pretty good. And I'm just saying Grok is not Grok chips, which we do talk about, Grok AI. I actually find it to be pretty darn useful when I'm using it inside of Twitter. And that's not XAI itself, but he's using common capacity and competencies. What's to say that XAI doesn't become a really, really valid platform? And that could be a huge growth engine for Oracle as well. So they're making good partnerships. They're in the right they're in the right places, and they're adding capacity in the right ways, and they're making good investments. And I think that's why the investors got excited, despite the fact that the actual results this quarter were not particularly great.
Yeah, it was actually good to see the market actually respond to something that's not in your face and something that was in the future.